First off, sorry I look like what you believe a thug or a thief looks like, what you've been made to believe that looks like. It's just really cold. This is what I could wear. Welcome to Techo Tuesday, the show where I try to teach you about certain technologies that we use every day, everywhere around the world, just so you can have a better understanding of the world around you, because that's what I'm about. Now, I don't know what I'm talking about, but today I'm going to be teaching you about elevators. These are the mechanisms, the platforms, the boxes that help us go from one level to another elevation level in buildings and mines and all different kinds of places. Elevators that we know today are mostly electrical. They're controlled and pulled up and down by electric motors. But we've had elevators for a very long time. They way predate electricity, but they're just not elevators in the traditional way that we've gotten used to them today. They're just different things, but essentially the idea is the same thing. So we've had elevators before that are just pulled up by ropes and by manpower and sometimes by animal power. We'd attach animals to a rope, a cable that was then turned around a pulley, which is attached to a platform. And on this platform is where you put on your goods or people or animals or whatever it is that you want to elevate or to de-elevate, elevate, elevate. So essentially, it changes your elevation. That's why it's called an elevator, I guess. In the past, these again, like I say, they were powered by human beings for to getting up to certain levels. I mean, it's not. Don't think about it as like in a tall building you had an elevator and then people were there kind of towing people up the floors. No, 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 no. That's not really how it worked. First of all, there weren't too many uses of it. There weren't too many people needing to use elevators as we do today. I mean, we're now in a globalized, very modernized world. They weren't as prevalent as they are today. But we needed them in some cases to get to higher platforms, to get things to higher platforms. And we had them for building, for just getting them to shows in the Colosseum, for example, to get animals up to different levels. We needed elevators because you can't just lift up a lion or lift up whatever animal they needed to get up there. So then they had an elevator, and that helped them to lift things up or down. Even in mines, when you guys are deep down there and you're digging and you're doing all, getting all the resources out, it's not always applicable to have a railway and then have a train that is going to take things up. It's in some cases because of the landscape, you just needed to go vertically up, and trains can't do that. Therefore, come enter, as they say, enter elevators. And these just get whatever stuff you're trying to get out, put it on that platform, and have people or animals or whatever pull it out. And then when it gets to the top, then you can take it out of the whatever basket loading thing that you had in there. Fast forward to the modern world, and we're starting to build buildings and we're starting to go higher and higher. But when I say high this time, um, I'm really just stretching the word high. I'm just talking about 3 floors, 4 floors here. We're starting to understand civil engineering. We're starting to build higher and higher. But we're starting to have a problem. We can't keep building higher. Imagine you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, you are whatever profession you are, and people need to come and consult with you, but you're on the 7th floor and there are no elevators. I am trying to sue someone. I need to see a lawyer, and now I have to flip and get up 7 flights of stairs just to flip and consult. It's just crazy. And then I left my identity documents in the car or whatever in the horse carriage or whatever. Now I have to go down 7 flights of stairs to get in. It's just horrible. It's just horrible. So then we thought, okay, let's now introduce elevators into buildings. Of course, you can't really have people doing the lifting. I mean, maybe you can if you have slaves and stuff, but it's not really practical. So by this time, of course, we've had electricity. So we also have motors. So we're able to use those to take advantage of those things. But then we start to worry about, okay, we've had incidences before where we have elevators and then the rope snaps and then things collapse and things get destroyed, people die. We don't really want that. How do we then avoid that from happening? Then come in, enter again. Enter this guy who comes up with this mechanism which, when the rope snaps, there's It's a weird mechanism. Just you can go check it out. It's by Otis. If you've seen a lot of elevators with the name Otis from it, it comes from this guy's name. It is named after this guy who invented a mechanism, the first locking mechanism that prevents elevators from free falling down in the event that the cable that holds it up snaps. So he just invented this cool snap mechanism that is held up by the rope here and holding the elevator. And the moment that this snaps, this then goes and locks on some pins that are lined all the way along the height of the elevator. And that helps arrest the elevator from falling all the way down. And that made people feel safer to use elevators. And therefore, we were now able to build taller and taller skyscrapers. Fast forward to today, we have skyscrapers that are 600, 700, even 800 meters tall. I think I read somewhere that they're going to build a kilometer high skyscraper. I'm not really sure about that, but I think we might be doing that. Without elevators, it becomes impossible to do that because you can build it to go up there, but who's going to take stairs to go up there? People are not going to parachute off of planes just so I can get to the 60th floor. What if I miss? I mean, what if I die? So elevators are so important. They're very necessary. We might just take them for granted. Think about it. When you've been to a shopping center and you parked on the bottom floor, on the basement, and the shopping you've been doing was on the top floor. Imagine if you had to take your bags and walk down the stairs with them, walk down the escalator. It's much better to just push the trolley, get into an elevator, press a button, you're now at a different elevation, and you just keep walking till you get to your car, whatever it is you're using for transportation. And that's how important elevators are. So the modern elevators that we use are held up by cables still, and these cables are pulled up or wound up by electric motors. Now, these are very strong electric motors. They're able to get the full load depending on how much load this particular elevator can carry. Remember, we have elevators that can carry people, elevators that can carry goods, and based on the different uses that are expected for whatever situation it is in, the engineering, the design is going to be different. Either it's going to have to carry a lot of load very quickly, or not too much load and not too quickly. But there's these varying designs that you can have. Think about it. If you're going to have an 80 floor building or 60 floor building that is 800 meters high, going from the ground floor to the top floor at a snail's pace is going to take you forever. So elevators need to be fast in some cases, that they can even go as fast as 100 kilometers an hour and even more. And you need that. If I'm just going from 0 to 60 floors up, I'm going to need to travel fast, or else I'm going to be spending the whole day just in the elevator. Imagine how much earlier you'd have to arrive for an 8 o'clock appointment if the elevator was traveling at a snail's pace. So I mean, imagine how much earlier you'd have to get there if there was no elevator at all. God forbid load shedding. Let's not even go there. But that's essentially what elevators are. And of course, the mechanism that Otis designed has been far improved. There are much better mechanisms now, much safer. Elevators are much safer now. They're much faster. They're just incredible. I just love elevators. Okay, I'd prefer not to use them. Obviously, if I'm going to be going to the 60th floor, I'm not going to use the stairs. But in most cases, I like using the stairs because, I want to take care of my heart and all that crap. But, elevators are amazing. I'm not going to come in with a lot of luggage or a lot of bags, a lot of plastic bags, a lot of whatever, and just try to use the stairs. I'm not going to do that. But, the higher we are, the higher we have to go, the more we've now had to use elevators. There's not really much to say about elevators. They're really pretty simple in their application and their working, so that's about it. There's a very interesting thing about the doors, but I think it's just way too complicated that I just don't think it's necessary for this episode. But thank you for tuning in. I'd really appreciate it if you guys could tell me more of what you'd like to hear about, and I'd go find out about it and come tell you more about how that works. This has been Techo Tuesdays. Thank you for watching. I really hope that I can teach you guys some more stuff, not just about technology, just about anything else, really, because I just love education. Even though I don't know much of what I'm talking about, I still like sharing what I know and having people tell me what they know and what they'd want to know. So, thank you.